n'urusozi rw'enzoli rwemerire
amabere ga nyina mwiru nyakasura
ebijongo n'ebisarwe bitarukoma nyina itwe toro okahundwa mawu oniniza bulyomu tutabisisa nondyo walizarwa nokwabisango bukuda bwaitu toro bwa bulyomu
dore mirimu yengare leta sente
olebyobuhangwa n'obuniga
abakaza b'igicumbi n'ubusanguwa
olebyobuhangwa n'obuniga ekikubyo kyo waitu ebampako ekikali karuzinga.
Welcome to 40 TV, where we keep it entertained. I'm SUPERHOST Hamilton with the show My Planet. It's a great morning today, Friday, the 23rd of February 2024. Our show is featuring quite a couple of things this morning. Like I told you, this is a bilingual kind of show. We don't want to leave anybody behind. We want everybody on board. Today, I salute you warmly and welcome you to the show, and also say we have a team that is about to be ushered in, but before they come in, I have to do some small quote for us here. That the tree that is beside the running water is fresher and bears fruit every time, and more fruit. Today in history, it was on this day, 23rd of February, this time around the year was 2022, when the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, declared that he was going to do some special military operation in Ukraine. And since that time, a lot of things have happened, negative ones in terms of the economy, politics, social life, infrastructure is broken, but we hope for the best. Right now, we have guests coming from the Ministry of Water who are about to come in, and I invite them in so that we can discuss a few things. But this show really depicts all things that happen on planet Earth. And I told you, planet Earth is special among many planets that exist in the universe, that you cannot have any other good, actually not good, the best of the planets of the universe is planet Earth, and that's why we focus on this planet. So it is my planet, your planet, our planet, and so we must protect it. Let us have a very mini, this time not even short, but a mini break, so that a little while to come we shall feature the team of the guests that will be here to discuss with us some package special for us this morning. Let's have a break.
Nyina itwe toro okahundwa mawu oniniza bulyomu nyina itwe toro okahundwa mawu oniniza bulyomu mundekere ngambe bana bange toro tegambwaho mawu obunkororo busozi n'ebihanga nisekero munda muntu wange
dorita kayorezo muntu wange
olebyobuhangwa n'obuniga
ebitoke n'amajani bitakuboyisa
olebyobuhangwa n'obuniga amagana mwisazi kazagire ebinyansi n'ebibire bitarukoma amalindiro n'ebisoro n'ebinyonyi nyina itwe toro okahundwa mawu oniniza bulyomu oleke enguru kicheko mutabisunga mabudikiri nywe na mwiche tuhaisa nizo muhangi watu haire
Chamuka kwa maiza gasempaya
Orusozi rwenzo lirwemerire
Amabere ganyina mwiru nyakasura
Ebijongo nebisarwe bitarukoma Nyina itetoro Okahundwa mawu Onini za bulyomu Tutabisisa nondyo walizarwa nukwabisanga tukuda bwaitu toro bwa bulyomu
Dore mirimu yengare leta sente
Dore byobuhangwa n'obuniga
Abakaza b'igicumbi n'ubutusangwa
Dore byobuhangwa n'obuniga Ekikubyo kyo waitu ebampako Ekikali karuzika tukyesimisa
Nyina itetoro Okahundwa mawu Onini za bulyomu
Nyina itotoro Okahundwa mawu Onini za bulyomu Nyina itotoro Okahundwa mawu Onini za bulyomu Nimbatererwa abantu bange tulinde ebyobuhangwa tutabisisa nondyo walizarwa nukwabisanga tukuda bwaitu toro bwa bulyomu
Dore mirimu yengare leta sente
Dore byobuhangwa n'obuniga
Abakaza b'igicumbi n'ubutusangwa
Dore byobuhangwa n'obuniga Ekikubyo kyo waitu ebampako Ekikali karuzika tukyesimisa
Nyina itetoro Okahundwa mawu Onini za bulyomu
Nyina itotoro Okahundwa mawu Onini za bulyomu
Fort TV. Stay entertained.
Yes, very welcome back to Fort TV, where we keep entertained. Like I said, I have a team of guests from the Ministry of Water and Environment, but a regional base here. We have a very important discussion this morning. Like I said, I'm SUPERHOST Hamilton, and the show is My Planet. My Planet, why? Because that's where we all live and draw life from. The show is bilingual, like I said. We have English, we have Runero Toro Nyakitara, because we want everybody on board. And we know our population, majority of you really speak English, and other people out there beyond this country and other parts of the country not conversant with our shortwaving here if we went vernacular, all of us. So we shall be using both languages and there so that you can be into the discussion. This morning, I have two guests. A little later, I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. Yeah, sometimes we, the hosts, we do introduce guests, but I'm sometimes cautious because you could leave out something important about that guest, which she or he, if given the opportunity, would say it about himself or herself. And that's why I will ask them a little later to introduce themselves. So our focus will be like one of our guests will tell us what is the subject that we're discussing today in a summary form, take us through for about 2, 3, 4 minutes for sure, so that you get the background of our discussion. And when we're moving together, you don't get lost along the way. I will be prompting each one of us to do that. So after having known what we are going to discuss, we shall look at where is this activity going to take place, and we shall know when is it going to take place, and we shall know who is going to implement it, to put it in practice, and what are the likely results, the outcome, or the effects of these activities. Without much ado, once again, I'm SUPERHOST Hamilton. The show is my Plannet, and the two guests now we go. I have Madam Rita, I will mention that one name, and I have Mr. Kiza Kizito. I will start with the lady. You know, we usually say ladies first. Please go, say who you are, where you are coming from, your organization, and the work you do there, and once you are through, Mr. Kizito also will say who he is in full, and then after him, then you will take us through the summary or the introductory part of our discussion tonight, or rather this morning. We go.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Hamilton. We are very grateful for the opportunity. Thank you for hosting us this morning on Fort TV. My name is Rita Chiteme. I'm professionally a sociologist, and I work with the Ministry of Water under the deconcentrated structure, that is the Albert Water Management Zone. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. Before Mr. Kizito comes in, where are you based? Are you sitting in Kampala, Fort Portal, Kasese, where?
Well, the Albert Water Management Zone office is housed in Nyabukara, that is within Fort Portal City. Very
good. Mr. Kizito, you are welcome. Say to the people who you are.
Mr. Hamilton, my name is Kiza Kizito. I'm a wetland system supervisor. I work with the Ministry of Water and Environment and Wetland Management Department. I'm based in Fort Portal, here at the Albert Water Management Zone. Then I work in Mpanga Wetland System.
Thank you so much. You are very welcome. Welcome for sure. Now, Madam Rita, what is cooking up? Because I've been moving around as a media person, and I've seen you in your department and office holding a lot of meetings, organizing things. What are you bringing up for us this week or next week or any time? Can you kindly unpack, in terms of introduction, what we're going to focus on and what is coming out for the general public in the near future?
What is happening currently nationally, we have the Water and Environment Week as an upcoming event. The Uganda Water and Environment Week is an annual event which is organized by the Ministry of Water and Environment through the Water Resources Institute, which is based in Entebbe. And this event is has run since 2018, and this year's national event will actually be the 7th of the kind, and it will run from 18th to the 22nd March 2024. So that is for the national event, and why do we run the Uganda Water and Environment Week annually? This is done to commemorate the 3 important sector days. That is the World Forest Day, that is in 21st of March each year. Then we also commemorate the World Water Day on 22nd March. And then we also commemorate the World Meteorological Day on 23rd of March every year. So the essence of this is why we run the Water and Environment Week is, of course, to rethink some of the existent approaches in addressing water environment and climate related challenges. As we are all aware, globally, internationally, we experience climate change issues, and of course, for this year, maybe also to highlight this year's Water and Environment Week, the main theme will be rethinking collective action and innovative solutions to water, environment, and climate change crisis in Uganda. And of course, at the end of the day, this will be aimed at, we want to showcase some of the approaches that are existent, review some of these, and then of course, at the end of the day, be in position to come up with maybe bankable solutions and approaches that can be adopted across the country in attending to some of these climate change related issues. There are innovations here and there, some of course with the ministry. We have regional partners that have also have interventions. They have implemented different strategies in trying to address water, environment, and climate related issues. Yeah, so basically I would submit that.
Thank you, Madam Rita. Omuliza wetu mrunkadala kuturora kasumikano omukyala Kitemenko ku yatugambira mukimanye tantu kibazaho ngu akasumikano tuli mu bulemezi obwensi kuokya muno global warming nikiretereza nensi nikaraya kuhindahinduka mu mulingo oguri kututalibaniza climate change. Nambere obwire twagenderaga mu kusigara ndi mu kubyara mu kutekaniza emisiri hati obwire bukahinduka. Hatwanihiraga omusana nuko tukatema ebinyansi tukokya tukalima hati enjura nebanego. Obukwa nonihira enjura heragwera nuguba musana mpinda hinduka zobwire zo nizireterezibwa. Obundi amaizi, the water bodies nigatalibanizibwa ntugakwata kubi nigamaraga sisikaire twine nomunyorokiza hano nejja kutugambiraho ebicweke byembate bya kuruma amaizi omulingo biri kukwatwamu mu kicweka kinu ni hanga lyo nensi yona kutwara hamu. So nko kuyatugambira buli mwaka bagire ntekaniza Ministry of Water and Environment ekyo nicyo kitongole mu hanga lya Uganda kirukwatwa bihanga twegulirize nebya amaizi okurorangu toikara nitugambira ngana twegesangana twekambisangana tubirinde nuko twekale munyikale nunge kitalieki ensi no gweru kutwanga amaizi gakasandara rundi omusana kukajwa muno kahingurana tutukutunga byokule tutakutunga byokule nturwara ntufa ntwao. So ensi terkutwetaga muno nuko yomere petite tujetaga nuko tomere kitalieki ntuba tutaluma. Omunyorokiza Kizito ningoza kutangira omurundi ogundi otuheho ekisani ogambire kigambo ngu wetland management wetland systems management oyongera otorobezemu aho mu rutoro no mukekuruwanga cyetegereza kurungi ojja kuongera kibaza no murungereza betu once in a while otekerema akatoro kake we get that idea turole ngu ektukubazaho kino nikikwataho buli kintu nikija mukita omulingo ko
hati ugamba wetlands nimanyisa ebisaro byetu nimbani ebisaro byetu ebisala abamba babeta emigere gena nabeta bisaro mu rutoro betu twine ebisaro bine bamwenkemba.
Yes,
bamwenkemba
ebijuza
hati ebinbyo those are wetlands
kandi ibi akasoma kakero winga amezigabye tugakera kugera so ndigabagaru mugatekere
gaikaramu obwiro obwingi ezenkemba zituyamba okucencuraga amaizi nizihamu oburufu nizigatambuza kurungi
kuri nko kusengija
zigasengija. Yes,
correct, yeah.
Zigasengija so nizihamu oburufu manyira amaizi njoro bwekira muno kugwa amaizi agakuruga mu upstream gajya nebirufu vingi na kasasiro so obuze gaikamu ezenkemba zigasengija then gaikamu that stream aga amaizi gaikamu gali clean.
Okay, so kutamna kangereza kake bagenzo abajungo tabasigaye yeah sure
tuchakumixing so nyowe omulimo gwange muno ni nyowe nkurorera ebe bisaro kurolengero bakukoze samu ninkora na okenyendo ministry to ninkolegana muno na ba district na ba city kulango ebisalo bitetu babisisa.
So ekumanyisa ngu your area of jurisdiction ekichweka chao nikitwara for Porto City na Kaole district or beyond, because this is a regional area. So ekichweka chone cha Bugwezova generally tole ya kara
ninkora mpanga wetland system wetland system niyo ewo busalo bono kujja
kuleta mu kusalo
champanga
kandi obukire hire nikugokara
twine Kabarole twine Bunyangabo twine
Kamwenge
twine Chenjojo twine City suzwana kukuzikoraki
abo kwa zone zitunga amabeho gekisalo
yes
hati endinda ya ebicheke bibwagambe byambatanya ku maizi akasumya kwa Mazem region we Rota, are they taken care of? Are we really destroying them? And if we do destroy them, what is happening?
Nyo obonyizire togama nikibo hanu honka tujja kuija kuba nibonyizire muno.
Okay.
Nibo postingire kono.
Yeah, we can have a general perspective.
Yes. Ebisale binsangire abantu babisisire muno, abantu babitahirire muno, then no sanga nti no geza kwa na other technical people anti twa guiding abantu twabasomesa twabeha mu bisale ebi wetu tuchine mu bizubu tete wetu ni mayanti ukwana watandike kintu nofuna musamu challenges
okay.
hopefully turahalo some improvement and some change.
Okay, nja kugarukira I will come back to you. I will once again go back to Madam Rita and yeah, you are regionally based here. What activities are you preparing for this week? Of course, you will remind our viewer and our listener the time period of that week, beginning from this day to this day, because these days are for preparations. The major activities that you want to, you have in organization, that will be done. Maybe activity X will be done around this time for this purpose, things like that, as simply and comfortably as you can. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, our moderator. Well, I would like to inform the entire public that we shall run the regional events before the main event comes in around March from 18th. The regional office of the ministry, which is based here in Fort Portal, has worked closely and mobilized partners within the region to run the regional Albertine Region Water and Environment Week. Maybe for your information, the Albertine as a region faces a number of challenges, like we've had various cases of flooding across the country. But of course, to our region, we've had flooding in Nyamwamba, then in Kafu, around, that is around Masindi, and then Nyamwamba, that is in Kasese, as well as the Lake Albert at large. And then, of course, droughts, we have water stress, and then encroachment, as my colleague tried to echo on it. Pollution, the poor solid management that is happening even within our own catchment in Panga, as well as across other catchments. Then, of course, we have a lot of degradation going on, the deforestation and the likes, and of course, most of this is why we are experiencing the adverse effects of climate change. And of course, the ministry in the region has had a number of approaches in addressing some of this. Before I can actually highlight what we are going to do, because the reason why we are having to run the Water and Environment Week is to try and showcase what the ministry has done in the region in addressing some of the climate change problems.
Yes.
What we can do, of course, cannot solve the problems at 100%, but at least there is initiative.
It's a contribution.
Exactly. So we are going to zoom into activities that as they are going to happen, but I thought it would be important at least for you to take note. Of course, as a ministry, we've implemented some restoration activities. riverbank stabilization. We've provided some tree seedlings, trained communities in raising nursery tree seedlings. Also try to avail maybe fruit seedlings as alternatives for where we've tried to encourage or respect for the buffer zones. Then, of course, nature-based solutions. We've trained communities to dig trenches, the soil and water conservation trenches, planting the vetiver grass, planting trees, and of course, all this aimed at trying to improve, stabilize the soils, improve on the water quality at the end of the day. Then, of course, promotion of the piped water supply systems, going away from the initial way of accessing safe water, where communities have been dependent on maybe the shallow wells, and of course most of these haven't warrant in the past were proved not to be safe water. So currently we are trying to also ensure that there are more of piped water systems, and then of course safely managed sanitation systems, the EcoSan toilets, promoting sanitation practices, the hand washing. And then, of course, bearing in mind that, of course, as we try to promote these other engagements, it's also important that the community livelihoods, the communities are strengthened. So we've also tried to promote alternative income generating activities in different catchment areas. Mpanga, not, of course, exclusive to this. In Kasese, that's for Nyamwamba, and many other catchments across the region. So, the activities that we are going to run within the region will start from Sunday. This is just a few days away. Sunday this week on 25th, and we shall run to the 4th of March. And what are we going to be doing in this within this week? We've mobilized partners in the region. We'll try to highlight some of the partners: Renzori Aid, we have IRC Uganda, we have Water for People, Common Grounds, we have AMREF on board, we have also Fort TV has been part and parcel. We've had representation in some of these preparations, and we are grateful for the support. And then we have Mountains of the Moon Radio that has also given air, that we've been able to reach out to the public and let them know of what's happening and our water and environment resource challenges. And then, of course, many others that, the list may not be concluded right now. So on 25th of February, we shall run a sanitation camp at Buhara Primary School. And of course, for some of these, bringing on board the communities to try and participate in some of these. But of course, most of some of these activities are aimed at improvement, sanitation improvement, of course, within the homes. Motivating some of these communities, how best can we, of course, by mobilizing them and having them work as a team through such platforms. Now, like for the sanitation cup, it's aimed at the end of the day at raising awareness. Why should they have, why should they maintain hygiene in their homes and have standard sanitation structures? Yeah. So, and then on the 26th, that is, we shall then have the walk for water, environment and climate change, and maybe also to notify the public. This year's Water and Environment Week regionally will feature a walk for climate change, for water, environment and climate change. So this will be a 518-kilometer walk, and it will be flagged off from Fort Portal City. That is on the 26th, on Monday. So we call upon everyone to come and be part of this. We shall have a press conference on this day, 26th. We shall also be able to demonstrate or show off some of the challenges within the area here. We have the River Mpanga, which is a river system that is depended on by about seven districts, including the city Fort Portal. River Mpanga is flowing through Fort Portal, Kabarole, and then Chenjojo, and then it goes to Kamwenge. Sorry, that is the downstream actually, but via Kiruhura, Ibanda, Kazo, and then to Kamwenge, then down to Kitagwenda, which is the downstream. So we can also
Madam Rita,
appreciate-
before you proceed, I want
Yes,
to
please.
appreciate that, but also for our viewer and our listener who would like to know this, you have invited us to witness the flagging off of the Walk for Water, Environment and Climate Change is on 26th of this month. Yes. Where do we gather if I'm a community person from somewhere? Where are we gathering to see our colleagues begin moving?
The convening place will be the Ministry of Water and Environment office premise that is in Nyabukara at 7:30 a.m. on Monday, yes. Okay, fine. That is very important. So our viewer and our listener, you are picking. You are on board, really, and that's why they are launching it from here. They could have done it from elsewhere. We are blessed as a region to see this long walk of 518 kilometers taking off from here and be a witness, to appreciate that the government and every other stakeholder is trying to make an input to make sure that your planet is replenished and you enjoy it. Please proceed a little bit. Okay, thank you. Before we leave the walk, so walkers are flagged off from Fort Portal, and then they will move along via the Bunyangabu, and then via Rimi. But of course, as we are moving, we are making stopovers and showcasing what we as a ministry have done or commissioned out some sources. For example, there is a treatment facility that has been established around that's around Bunyangabu. So we won't just be walking and passing, but we shall also be trying to show off some of the interventions that the ministry has done, and then also trying to, of course, promote practices, for example, tree growing, which are, of course, at the end of the day aimed at mitigating some of the climate change effects. And then, of course, as this is happening, a lot of stakeholders, public, will participate in some of these activities, and of course the walk will go all the way from, of course, out of our region, that's via Rubirizi, Bushenyi, then they will end up into our sister zone, which is the Victoria Water Management Zone in Mbarara, and will proceed along the trek Mpiji, Liantonde, and end up in Kampala, Luzira, via the Parliament. Rita, I was suggesting that I give you a bit of break. I shouldn't overstretch at this point in time because we are continuing with the debate. Mr. Kizito, would you like to come in from what Rita has discussed so far? Any supplement you want to make? Yes. Things like that, yes.
About to really
Wene n'obugabe n'okubaza n'Olungereza n'okolaki abo ntaija kulemesa kugenda kulungi mweso
leka mbazo oli Rweta
kirungi muno
nditaina kugambiraho twine activity kujja kwanyagenda mu maiso nko tutambura tulole by'obuhangwa tutambura ntusoma nitwega baitu ekindi kinani bagambira okutambura oku itwena ninyeta buli omu wena hakuba wabusa tugamba manya okujja kutambura n'abageni basasura nangwa then ntankwabira bagambire tutandikira Nyabukara kutambura nyo ninyeta buli omu wena akusobora kutambura osobola kutambura kulibata kujja Kampala baitu ijo tambure naitwe musoga mbati
ogire hawa heka obaraja
katambure mpike maybe nduge Nyabukara mpike Mpanga ntahemuka tambure nduge Nyabukara mpike Kibito ngaruke muka so ninterera buli omu wena akusobora kutambura kinengeto za kanvasi so kutambura mutejojuire musonso then ekindi kina nimoza kubazaho twine tukora na some clean ups mu town tutambura tukora clean ups ntubiyare emiti Kabarole then Bunyangabo tukora so tukora tusemeza Rwimi town council then as tuyongera yombora tutambura tujya naka tujya kwika hima naho haliyo tujya tukora n'abantu ba hima factory roho undi plastic tiles ezibaliyo nibakora mu bintu bya plastic.
That's so great.
Tujja nazo ku bantu turora tugesa n'abantu, so niye mwe tujja ku bantu tukora mu kutambura kw'itoko. Then ni muno naninterera abantu kwija bakatujoininga kutambura kwa busa.
Okay. Webali munamoti habwekisane kwatoha iwa kutorokana tulirize bino byona nibikorwa habo burungi bwawe habo burungi bwange habo burungi baitu habo burungi bwensi yaitu habo kuba kutandika natuli eno nikuchoka cyone cyagwezo no kuyongerayo usaho munsi yone bicheke kusanensi eno kandi tine mirimo tukora yetandikire kubihuerekereza ku maramani ekamara mu rwezo ekasisa amezi gakoma tandike kutunga cyane kitaratungaga namusana no ura no tutuka no goza no kusumura nesate kandi kune byabaga kasese karaho betu ense ne hinduka injo ko nekichoka kote cyo gukora mu kugisemeza rundi kugisisa kandi kakuba otahondere tekaniza zino osobora kugereka wasigara na mbere twakwirwa amagezi twahondera tukakwataniza bino byona nibikorwa habo burungi bwaitu. I will allow Rita to continue a little bit before we go for a 2-minute break. Rita, please pick from where you had reached and we can proceed a little bit.
And of course, not to forget, we shall also clean up Fort Porto City. At least each year we've endeavored to do this around Kabundeire, the marketplace where, the vendors, we are doing a lot of, trading, but then we are not minding how we are disposing of the waste after making the money, and then but of course this time round we are intending to focus around some of the sections along the Mpanga River Trail. So we call upon you to participate. As soon as you see the teams walking through with the band, please feel free to come and join in and follow us to the section where we shall be cleaning up. And then on Tuesday, we shall have the environmental awareness within schools. And so the young people, our children, are the future generation. And it is the only way that we can have some of what is being implemented sustained. So for us to have sustainable interventions for the future, for us to achieve our goal, it's very important to involve the children, and that is why they are part and parcel of the activities. So we shall do some awareness raising, try to increase their knowledge base besides what they are getting within the classroom. Of course, they are very aware about some of these things. When you pose questions to them, what is the importance of trees, the children know most of these things. So it would be more of a refresher to ensure that they are getting what they are doing. But of course, to it, we won't stop at sharing knowledge. We shall also provide some tree seedlings to them to plant as a way to where we are working towards catchment restoration. Yes.
Rita, let me check. Are you going to visit all the schools in the region, or you have sampled a few to represent the rest?
We've selected some, at least each year we endeavor. So this time round, we are going to provide some tree seedlings to Nyakasura Secondary School. We have Kagote Primary School. We have Kitumba Primary School, and then Kitumba Secondary School, and then also Kamengo Primary School. But then the list is actually not a very short one. They added some.
Many other
schools.
So
we have minimally about 6, but then of course some other schools in another district.
Okay, so for your information, Rita, Nyakasura is just Nyakasura School. The rest are secondary schools, so they can be anything like St. Louis is just college. Mr. Kisa inachakwenda kuongera.
I think add on what Madam Rita said. On schools we have some St. Lucia.
This Kijura Road.
Yes, Kijura Road.
Okay.
Then we have Kitumba Ngombe.
Okay.
Ngombe Primary School.
So meaning you will be divided up in a number of teams.
Yes, in number of teams.
Into those schools.
Yes. Then we are working with Kamange District Government. We want also to plant in 6 schools in Kamange District. So we are waiting for them to send us the names of those schools.
Okay.
Then even in Chegegwa, we want also to work on two schools in Chegegwa. So we want also those boards also send us some.
I like that kind of sampling. So every school you should expect and wait for your opportunity to come.
Yes.
But if you're listening in, this is affecting you. When your fellow school is being worked on, yours is in mind also.
Yes,
and it's
yes.
extremely important. Amasomero ntekereza kikulu muno habwokuba it's where our younger people are, and these are the people who are growing, doing business, affected by environment as we are affected. In fact, nyine nekitekerezo mumaiso ninja kuhanura, I will suggest if I get a platform that even in the curriculum it's important to include this very life related subject of environment and climate change. It's very important, because once this one is ignored, the young people are not picking very well. I thank the ministry, because now you are considering them seriously. If they grow up learning about these things, then they really become responsible citizens to protect this. A little bit, Rita, I can proceed.
Yes, and yes, then on to Wednesday, that is the 28th February, we shall then hold an environmental symposium, and this will take place at Toro Botanical Gardens. And I would like to request our own moderator here is at least part of this organization team for the symposium. Maybe you could try to unpack and yes.
Yeah, yampata muhati omanyire ndikakuli I'm double aged. I'm in the media, moderating, doing this, but also I'm on the organizing committee, fortunately, and on the symposium I'm part and parcel of it, and I've been meeting, also planning. We are going to be discussing very important aspects of this component, to see we have different stakeholders who are involved in protecting our environment, protecting our nature. We're going to look at the challenges that we are facing. We're going to look at who is doing what. One, in distorting the environment and nature, but also in protecting the same. So the team has selected a number of topics, a minimum of 3, I'm sure, and a maximum of 5, but it will depend, because we want to save time as well, and to allow the listener and everyone else to come in, also discuss and share some ideas. So we have already selected, we're going to confirm, but I think we have the front team that has already made the list and selected and informed and invited the participants. And also in these participants, I'm talking about the panelists, the discussants, the people who are going to be given topics to discuss. Mr. X or Madam Y is discussing this topic, and some other person as well. And we have already looked through getting the moderators who will be guiding the discussions in terms of managing the whole environment and the time and the rest. But also we are having other members in the audience who will be contributing in one way or the other. As you know, the dialogues, conferences and discussions of this matter. The venue, she has already said, is the Toro Botanical Gardens near Njara Primary School here in the east. You know this place, it is just behind here. And we shall invite people to keep time. We shall be reminding you of time when to come, but the activity will start in the morning between 9 and 9:30 for the rest of us to begin taking off the activities. But the team, the Vanguard, will have arrived early, even at 6, to make sure that everything is in place. So as we talk here, they're also running up and down with these activities. And we are going to consolidate our final discussion, the general final discussions today in a meeting. After here, actually, the meeting has already is almost beginning, the general planning one. This is part of it, is feeding into the other. So this team from here, they will be joining the main one, so that by the end of the day, we shall have concluded exactly to make sure that everything is in place. Invitations have already gone out. We shall be making follow-ups, reminders, and the rest as we prepare, as we internalize what we're going to discuss. All this is being done to make sure that everybody gets to understand about how important water is, how important our nature is, our environment is, such that we protect it, we use it sustainably. we don't overexploit it to have nothing to feed on or use tomorrow. So I don't want to preempt most of the discussions by our chair and other central team, but that is the activity she's hinting on. It is progressing well, and a lot of stakeholders are being invited. And so the media fraternity is really keen, moving up and down. Every step we are taking, we are together, and you can see we are here, and we are always going to be with Fort TV, and other media houses are involved as well. And so the teams are moving out also on various radio stations mentioning the same activity, the symposium and other activities. Rita, it's your time, and the next 5 minutes we shall be going for a short commercial break, but before you can proceed a little bit.
Okay, thank you so much, our moderator, for unpacking the 28th activity to do with the symposium. So we shall run parallel activities on the same date, the 28th, Wednesday, 2024. So as the symposium is going on, of course, the workers will also be proceeding to Kasese district, and at the same time, we shall commission a treatment facility that is by our sister entity, the Midwestern Umbrella for Water and Sanitation, around Bunyangabu, the Pohe Treatment Unit. And then on Thursday, 29th February, we shall then move on to Kasese, and there basically we shall be launching and handing over our previous projects facilities. Of course, in the past years, that's since 2021, there was emergency response to the flooding following the 2020 floods in Kasese. The government responded as emergency. The World Bank came on board and funded the government of Uganda to implement some activities there to attend to, of course, the devastated situation. So we had the integrated water management and development project, which was implemented, and a number of activities were carried out. To this, we had some structure measures. We had structure measures that is, of course, to do with the gabion construction down in Kilembe to protect the critical infrastructure. We have a hydropower station. We have the Kilembe hospital there. So we did some structure measures there. We also implemented catchment management measures where we provided tree seedlings to the communities. And then we also did not stop at that. We also went ahead and promoted alternative income generating activities. How best can you console affected communities? Communities were availed with, fruit tree seedlings. And then we also went ahead, of course, focusing on our theme. We're talking about innovation. We also tried to create an opportunity out of what was disastrous, the big boulders that were killing people. We were able to introduce a new skill that is stone development crafting, where they have to pick boulders and make out nice items, the plates, bathtubs, maybe tables, kitchen sets. And of course, we find this as an opportunity. So among things that we are showcasing are just some of these innovative initiatives like stone development. We also communities. We provided some beehives to some of these affected communities, and we are believing that over time, community livelihoods should be impacted, and they should be doing better. And on a positive note, of course, a number of them benefited from this, and they can tell a story. And this is some of what we're expecting to unpack and show off while we are there. They are talking for themselves. I shouldn't be
as testimonies.
Rita, that is really, blowing the trumpet.
Thank you, Rita. You reminded me of a saying. The Britons say, never blow your own trumpet. But the American comes in and says, if I don't blow my own trumpet, who will blow it for me? So sometimes it is a two-way traffic because information sharing is very important. Arkuturora kana tulirize ntwetaga tumuleho tinkwetaga ugenyi wetu bakarakara maraka koza tumuleho wanyo akaglass ko tuizi newe vaterwa temo tunge fresh air, then we come back in the next few moments. We shall be back. Let's take a short break.
Richard Rwabuhinga nilibara lyange ndio mu abantu abahuliriza kandi abarora Fort TV amakuru agakizira obwingi nikiragatunga kuruga Fort TV ningonze ntekanoze yabe yanyencyakara kandi ndio mu habasagiki abamani aba Fort TV. Fort TV mugumeho muhereza abantu baitu amakuru amarungi abwenkorakorana yensi yaitu.
Fort TV ikara osemerirwe.
We are observing the Water Week in the region of Albertine. This week was started to be observed on Monday, that is on the 11th of March. We had a cleaning exercise on the tributaries of River Mpanga, and we basically based ourselves in Karago and Chihondo, where we did some cleaning. We also held home improvement campaigns within the households of Chihondo and Karago. And then on the second day, we did awareness creation within the schools on the importance of preserving the environment.
The Mpanga catchment spreads across 5 districts, and its water is used for domestic, industrial and agricultural purpose. Under the stewardship of Protos, Joint for Water, the Mpanga event has been used to focus on stakeholder engagement in respecting, restoring and preserving the Mpanga River in line with SDG 6.
Right now we are in the municipality of Fort Portal, joining the members from the Ministry of Water and Environment, because they have a week to clean up, to show people that they need safe life, they need water, they need to remove all the rubbish around them. It may look minor, but it's very important.
We are doing this in commemoration of what we are calling the Uganda Water Week. It is characterized by a number of activities that involve cleaning some municipal councils that are around here, planting trees with the schools, primary school kids, on the principle that whatever you put in a child, it is propagated forever, because the child grows with it and also takes it at home to make sure that this catches up with the society.
A number of awareness, advocacy and public mobilization activities were organized to rally all stakeholders on the preservation of Mpanga River. A tree planting exercise was held in areas along degraded river banks. Public tree nurseries offered tree seedlings that were planted along Mpanga River.
We are just putting up a spirit, people to know that we need to plant these trees. This is just to signify, so that whoever looks at this, whoever hears of this, he gets that sense of planting trees, knowing that trees are really very, very important and instrumental to our lives in the aspects of environment and water.
So we went up to Karangura in the mountains where River Mpanga is originating. There are a lot of activities that are not friendly to the environment, and of course those activities right from the mountains are affecting our river to where it is here. So I want us to join hands and we save this beautiful river of ours, the River Mpanga in particular. I'm calling upon the central government to put a serious ban on Kavera, because it is seriously disturbing us. During rainy season, if you are to see what is in Mpanga River, it is just Kavera and Kavera only. So if we can raise our voices high to the central government, to our parliament, to put a ban on Kavera, it will do us well.
In schools, awareness was raised through talks, tree planting, art and music. The students were also each given a tree to take home and plant for the future, but also several indigenous trees were planted in each of the 2 schools and along River Mpanga.
To achieve the Sustainable Development Goals of 2030.
mugenzi harohe ikicweka ekinkumanya kikahumba ruhanga ubuyemera hansozi olengeresi amabeho ngatera ebisaru emijongo amakoro amasomero amalisizo amalwaro n'ebindi tubine itaka lyetu lya kulutoro nitwegomba nitulima nitweza dore bicweke birungi mfopoto kajaninga amajani enyamaiswa ente n'ebitoke by'owaitu n'ibirisa uganda mubokulengezaniza handi orasanga we have a beautiful land.
It's a beautiful land, a marvelous place.
N'abantu abarungi abaine ngozi.
This is my home, my heritage from God.
Abantu mwena mwite murambule.
Come with me to Fort Portal.
We have a beautiful land.
It's a beautiful land, a marvelous place.
Noebembezi oburungi chali.
This is my home, my heritage from God.
Oraija no yerora mama.
Come with me to Fort Portal.
It is unforgettable when you visit the Toro land. The scenery of the place and the rich culture you will like. Oh, the hills and mountains. I love to see the Rwenzori, the volcanoes, the beautiful crater lakes and rivers, the animals, the wildlife. Fort Portal is a tourist city.
It's a beautiful land, a marvelous place.
Noebembezi oburungi chali.
This is my home, my heritage from God.
Oraija no yerora mama.
Come with me to Fort Portal.
Mugenzi tega amatuhure ebyavaindi bakugamba hotoro leka kuzibiriza kweza ekokenge ebirungi byowanyu kandi otekeho n'amaani olwanirwe buli kirungi kyowanyu.
Welcome back from that appropriate break. Appropriate because we have had a little bit of time to take or sip a drop of water, fresh water, and refresh our minds and ideas and our bodies. We are back to discuss these very important life-affecting matters of environment, water, climate change. And Charlie SUPERHOST Hamilton, and Tekanize Charlie, My Planet. My Planet, you know why we innovated this, we created this, we initiated it, because this is life itself. And I told you that my show is not by fashion but by passion, because I know our life is here. And we should never forget that the water cycle is the same like the life cycle. Coming back to Rita and Mr. Kizito Kizaz, you know, this is a roaming discussion. We are agreeing within ourselves and we are tipping each other to this effect. Beitu ningoza kwekambisa yo akutoroka kanda tulirize wekwate TV yenu abokuwa niyo yonke yo inano mkichweke kandi kikuru negenda hara muno nehikama hanga maingi. Download our app and catch up with us, you know, 40-tv.com. So catch up with us. Tuli our WhatsApp, tuli our YouTube, tuli habuli kintu kyone choratekereza out or our Facebook, TikTok. We are there. Don't miss out. And do business with us, by the way, so everyone will be following. So enjoy this, and I always give you my contacts if you want to do business through this show, My Planet. You are welcome, and other departments are functional here. I want to thank the CEO and the team for providing this opportunity, and I know this team will be given another opportunity to come back during the very week. as and when they feel that there is something they will want to share with you. Now we go, Rita, you can add on. You are holding a very important sharing.
Yes.
We can proceed with it.
Thank you, moderator. So we were just trying to highlight on the key activities that are happening as the week is running. And of course, still in line with, we were still reviewing the Kasese activities. And of course, for some of the very important activities that I thought we could also mention is that communities were supported in, of course, improvement on the coffee value chain, the development. And of course, to this, we did not stop at just training them and equipping them with knowledge on better production of the coffee. We also went ahead and constructed some coffee processing units, and then also we also fully installed coffee hurlers. So some of this equipment will be handed over officially. The facilities are being handed over to the Kasese District Local Government to ensure that there is sustainability of these. This equipment, of course, has been provided by government, and we don't want any of the community members to take on ownership solely. It has to belong to a group, because cooperatives were formed at the end of the day. So we want to ensure that even as the ministry draws out and hands over the project activity, the work doesn't die out, but the district should actually own this work.
Okay.
Yes. And of course, there are also the region being a tourism well endowed with tourist sites. We also went ahead and constructed some tourism sheds in the midstream, upstream areas, and of course also these will be handed over. And yeah, so we believe that livelihoods should be improved over time. Some of these should be stopovers for the tourists as they are trailing and trekking to the resorts and the likes. So, and moving on to so Thursday, still there are parallel activities while the handing over is going on. We are also moving on and doing some cleanups elsewhere, as far as Rubirizi in Chambura, and then also the workers will trail on to Katunguru landing site. Yeah, and then as 29th still is a packed day, as all that is happening in Kasese. In Fort Porto, we will still run a hackathon. I don't know if our moderator is able to break down that in Toro, in the local language, for people out there to understand what's going to happen here. Who are we involving in the hackathon?
Even before it goes to Toro, there are those who English speakers also need your little bit of unpacking.
For the hackathon here, we are planning to bring on board. We have engaged our institutions here, that is the universities, and we are hoping to have some teams, different teams, trying to brainstorm on some of the innovative approaches, solutions in addressing the climate-related challenges, water and environment resources.
That's good. Those are very dynamic debates, really, that are going to take place.
Yes, and we never know a team that could emerge out as a winner, or what, as the discussions go on. As a ministry, we are also able to take note of some of these, and who knows if we could draw lessons from this to inform decision tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amwetu binogoza kuongera Alek ndekindi nogenda kintu kindi ngakusomera ekyategerezebwa Burundi nakyagumizamu ya continue.
Okay, so for the hackathon that of course will proceed, the start will be on 29th, but on first March will basically be to award the winning team that will have presented solutions in the best way possible. And then of course the same day, another parallel event that will run is there will be awareness raising on environmental conservation, and this will be through debates. So a motion will be provided We shall have our very own schools here, the secondary schools, participating as it has been the norm in the previous years at the youth center. So a number of schools have been mobilized, and yeah, they will be able to debate, of course, in line with the theme, technology and innovations in addressing water, environment, and the climate change crisis. Then on to Saturday, that is 2nd March, we shall have public awareness and sanitation improvement campaign. And of course, this will be at Buhara Primary School. Yeah, so sanitation campaign, of course, we're trying to promote proper hygiene, proper sanitation in the schools. Yeah, so we do not get tired of, trying to educate and impart knowledge into these young ones. Why should they wash their hands very well? As a country, we should have learned and drawn lessons from the COVID.
Sure.
Yeah, that really changed, and a lot of, it had an impact on mindset change. Even those that, were negative about these hand washing practices, I believe very many of us were touched by that happening. So, yes, by doing the sanitation campaign is to continuously sensitize our children out there to continuously take on these hand washing practices seriously. Then we still plan on having a groundbreaking for the Buhara water supply system within Fort Portal. And we shall then wrap up our activities, that is with the corporate league. The corporate league, yeah, the corporate league. Corporate league is here we call upon all the corporate entities within the banks, the different organizations. Many of you,
including the media, of course.
Exactly. Many of us have been a part of most of these soccer games, and of course, with this, all the resources that are being done, this has been mainly mobilized by our NGO, that is Renzori Aid, of course working closely with the ministry. So the resources that are drawn here are usually aimed at, supporting improvement of wash-related practices within the schools. Last year, the money that was drawn of rainwater harvest tank was handed over to Kamengo Primary School. This time round, the proceeds will go to Bukoko Primary School. So please come and let us participate in this corporate league. But of course, this is not just to address, the wash-related activities, but also physically. For the health, we all need to be physically fit.
Sure.
Yeah, and then of course, we can also use some of these spaces to network. So please, if you're out there and you haven't yet heard about the corporate league, please come on board. The ministry is just situated in Yabukara. Come and register with us there, and we shall be happy.
Maybe let me interject a little bit, Rita. So don't keep wondering, how do I get there? How do I? Before we conclude this discussion, we shall share, she especially will share with you her contacts, so that you can, in case you want to do anything with these arrangements, you can easily call. And she's a lady I've known that who responds promptly, unless heavily engaged and leaving the phone behind. She will be in close touch with you. And in case you don't catch up with her, you can call any of us. Mr. Kiza is here, myself is here. We shall share the contacts, then we can share with her, and then she can make a follow-up on this. So don't worry about how you get in touch with us. Please proceed for about 5 minutes, then we'll give you a bit of break. He comes in, and then we move forward.
Yes, so Mr. Kalyagira, we've basically wrapped up the share of our program, because of course, for climaxing with the corporate league, that is for 3rd, and then of course 4th we shall have the main matches running on 3rd, that is Sunday, and then of course by Monday 4th it would be like the finals and having the best, and then officially handing over the rainwater harvesting tank to the
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rita. We have really worked you through, because you have given us all the background. Iwa kutuliriza nitekereza otongere kisani ekya gavumenti erikukora kuraba mu kitongole ky'ebyamaizi okututeekanuza ebintu bino kikuru muno. Our region is blessed to have the regional headquarters here of this ministry and to have an active team. The time I've spent interacting with this team here, I found them very useful, very outgoing in terms of implementing these activities, and down to earth, moving to communities, to schools, to markets, everywhere. And they invite you in case you want to make a contribution of any sort to their offices. I want to also add my voice to appreciate the stakeholders have consistently worked with the ministry, with this regional office, to make sure these activities succeed. We have a lot of entities who have participated. Selfishly, I start with the media, because if you do something not reflected in the world to see and to know and to hear, then it's like if you light a lamp and you cover it. So the media want to appreciate you, and we shall continue appreciating you, particularly now as 40 TV is on board. Don't get tired of hosting us, because even next week or some other week we shall be coming. And even after these activities, we shall have to come and give feedback, to give report of what you have contributed to, how far we have gone doing that. And other media houses, I want to appreciate you. If you have not yet played an active role as a media house, please make sure you don't miss out on this opportunity. Yes, look at it as an opportunity for you to market this life-giving activity in the region. We are blessed also, this one is a little bit outside, but closely related. Uganda is to host its national, and the United Nations, of course, National Wildlife Day in Chendodo district on the 3rd of March. You know, it is in the same region. We are doing this. Additionally, we are getting that. This is a United Nations activity that was decided upon actually in 2013. That annually we shall be hosting this one. So Chendodo district, within our region of this catchment area, in this arrangement, the Albertine area is to host a national function. Actually, it is an international thing because it is a UN originated function. So without eating much into the time of other discussions we are holding here, let me invite Mr. Kiza to say a few things. If he feels that there's something we have not touched in terms of questions, it is time that you bring it up. Yeah, because in the next 10 minutes we shall be winding up our discussion.
Okay, thank you so much. Muleza aliyo na turora na tulirize Madam Rita abalize binge programu kuchapa tugenda tukola maiso beto haroho ikintu atabalizeho tujya kunanka nuko nusabwe kaguza katuntu byara emiti mu enyumaho bitati katutabire munanka katabaliza kubyara emiti nango emiti ntujintiyo tujya kubyara tukujya kubyara amasomero honka nambere abalize beto tujya konga tubyara emiti NFA etwire space ega hampanga aho enyuma hampanga hagati ya mpanga na secondary school na NFA so aho tujya kubyara emiti ogunago ngoja kubagura umuringo gumu go kongera kurinda environment yetu na climate yetu kuba nonge then tujya kongera tubyara emiti uturaturi rwimi ekinja kuchukua kiro cha baraza 2006 tujya kwantwara clean up then tumara tujya kubyara emiti tukora river bank stabilization no river rwimi tujya kubyara rwimi emiti side ya nanka ya prison tukujya kubyara na emiti mu process na ogunago ngo omulimo ogumo gutya konga tukora then nikindi ndimu ninterera amasomero gona nambere tukujya kubantujya yes hamso taikayo betu ninterera amasomero kukora what they call environmental clubs amasomero whether primaries, secondaries, tertiaries mukole environmental clubs so utureja tukaikamu kusanga environmental clubs niziyamba mbintu bingi muno niziyamba environment nito tukwantu byana nkege mito tukagirekaho abana ni babaroni bagirolera then at the end of the day tujja kuba nitubahayo akasemu k'abaana bakurorera
emitego
then nabo bonka nibasobola kweta amasomero nigeeta amasomero genzi gago nigaija nigarora tukozere kino bakope then at the end of the day turolenka environment ya banungi.
Okay.
Nyo hale kintu nkira muno kugamba nti munsi muna mbere tuli twandugonza komera haroho ebintu bisatu tusomere kwebembeza. 1, it's to have good environment.
Yes.
Secondly, to have education.
Yes.
Thirdly, to have good health. Baitu, those 3 things kukumbalize, environment is the core.
Exactly.
Hakuba wokuba ole muchafu ni munaka mutuku na bangaro nonywa amaizi mabi noikala environment imbi norwara obokurwara tokuja isomero kusoma obokurwara togera buhomezi burungi. So nyongera muno kutwaranka environmental issues nke kintu kikuru muno. So ninterera abantu bali ahero, please nambere turejaga mututangire kandi mukoregana naito kurungi muno tuliwiri kuregana nayo
Ocho muno tuchali naiwe akuturora kana tulirize. I still hold this team here because before we part company I want them to really exhaust every aspect and that is very important, but I'm coming in to appreciate to hold this team for this long is not easy because they have a lot of things they are running, but this is one of the major activities they are running, and I appreciate you people for making sure that you don't simply engage the media to come and report on a meeting, but really engaging them to be part and parcel of the planning, of the arrangements, and involving them to make sure that they play their part. I will not cease appreciating Fort TV because most of these functions covers them, and you are looking at the pictures and all this. And this is already online, and soon you are going to be seeing. Other people are watching already. Fort TV, thank you. CEO, thank you. CEO will share with you all these other things that you need to know. But also I want to invite the media people to not simply report what others are doing, but to practically really participate wherever you are, as you report, as you discuss, as you highlight. Also, at one time you say, we as a media fraternity, as a media house, as a media institution, we have managed to do this in line with the environment and nature conservation, climate change matters. Yeah, that will add an impact. It will be a legacy of some sort. Because sometimes I don't go to some meetings for reporting. Because you say, the chairman has said this. Yes, we have some reporters go. But really I want to see if we are reporting with the feeling that we own this? It's very important. I wanted that package for my colleagues in the media. Don't be just simply ordinary reporters, but report with this sense that you have concern for your country. The President of this republic usually encourages us to be patriotic, but I find that we are tiring him up, because why should he tell us to love our country when we really know this country provides life for us through environment? But he sees that there are gaps, and so he comes in to remind us of that. So, Madam Rita, if in the questions I have put to you, I have not mentioned something, and if you remember that in your discussion there is something you had not hinted on, you can take that opportunity to do a wrap up in that kind of fashion in the next reasonable amount of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, our dear moderator. And as we are concluding our day's discussion or focus on Water and Environment Week, I thought it is also very pertinent for the public to understand maybe some of the approaches the ministry has adopted in addressing climate change. And we have an echo on the approach the ministry, through the Directorate of Water Resources Management, adopted an approach that is the catchment-based integrated water resources management as an approach in to effectively manage our water and environment resources. That is back in the 2011, following some reform studies that were conducted back in the time. And it is the reason as to why we are existing today, as of course I would talk for the Water Management Zone Office as one of the deconcentrated structures of the many that exist in the region. So as we speak, for this approach that I've highlighted, the catchment-based integrated approach, was one which was created to basically ensure that all relevant stakeholders within a catchment area are involved. And when we're talking about, of course, integrated approach, you're ensuring that all key stakeholders, for example, you have the Mpanga River, and you know it's not flowing through just one district. I mentioned 7 districts earlier, including the Fort Portal city. So what happens here is that as a ministry, we act as the secretariat, and it is our role to mobilize all the key stakeholders within a catchment area and bring them on board to actually plan, address all issues within a catchment area. They were talking about the deforestation, poor waste disposal, and many other issues. We have to bring on board all stakeholders in a catchment area to discuss these key issues. And also, we still engage them and ensure that they are the ones that will guide in prioritization of most of these, hotspots that could be picked out. We do not do it solely as a ministry. We ensure that, because you understand your catchments better. And of course, when we are talking about bringing everyone on board, we have the CSOs, we have the media represented, we have, of course, the local governments, we have different institutions, whether they're academic. There are also various water users. You'll find, of course, across different catchment areas. Here I mentioned Mpanga, and if I'm to give examples, I would still give examples within so that you get this clearly. We have the tea estates that are surrounding us, the Renzori commodities. You have the hydropower station. So we go ahead and mobilize these, and we spearhead the process of development of the catchment plan for an area, and then of course a committee is later on formulated through this process. That is the Catchment Management Committee. A Catchment Management Committee usually is headed by a political leader, and it is an LC5. And the approach here is that when we sit all stakeholders in a meeting room, they vote, there is election amongst. If you have, say, the 5 districts, among the LC5s, they will agree that so and so will actually lead this committee, and then we always have a vice chairperson to it, and then a secretary, usually is usually a technical officer that's within maybe the Natural Resources Office, preferably, or Environment Office. Yeah. So with this committee, it is what sits to actually discuss catchment issues, or when there has to be implementation, they also guide in prioritization of areas where interventions should take place. And then, of course, also they also give guidance on, when it comes to species matching, we shall look out for an environment officer. We don't make decisions out there, even as much as we are the secretariat. We ensure that, like we've mentioned, integrated, everyone is involved at the end of the day. These committees still will involve a youth representative. So here we're talking of Mpanga, but as we speak, as a zone, we have currently approximately 11 delineated catchments. Kafu, Semuliki. Semuliki is actually transboundary in nature. That one is between us and Congo. So you still have that, even as we had to form that committee, we have to form, a committee. Discussions, of course, have to engage the other end if you're to deal with issues that are transboundary in nature. And so for me, I believe the catchment-based integrated water resources management is actually a very great approach in addressing these issues in a catchment. And that is the reason as to why you can see for the activities that we have to carry out, we are still not doing them independently. And of course, the government needs support. The resources are never enough, and this is one of the key challenges in implementing water resource related issues. Financing, there is a very big gap in this. If we are aware, Mr. Kalegira, if you've been in the sector activities, you can relate very well. So it is always a collaborative. We have so much that we've implemented, but we've not worked independently. We've mobilized resources here and there. Join for Water has supported a number of ministry activities. The IRC has supported some of implementation of these plans that we are talking of. So I think I will just stop at that, at highlighting on this innovative approach.
Thank you so much, Rita. Before I release you, you will do two things for me and for us, for our viewer and our listener. You will repeat the theme for the region, after which then you will share your contact with everyone, so that in case of need, for the contact also Mr. Kiza will also, but basically you, just first of all, enrich us with the theme again, because this is what is going to keep ringing in the minds of the viewer and the listeners. All
right, so thank you once again. And so this year, regionally, for the Albertine Regional Water and Environment Week 2024, we shall be focusing on the theme technology and innovations in addressing water, environment, and climate change crisis.
You could repeat
Maybe I could repeat that. Technology and innovations in addressing water, environment, and climate change crisis. So we would call out all of you out there. We call out the general public. If you have any, innovative enterprise, we are creating some space for you on the 26th, if that's on Monday, the very day that we shall run the press conference. In the morning hours, we shall create we shall put up some exhibition stalls, and it's going to be free of charge for this start. So please, you can contact me, because I'm trying to make the reservation such that we prepare a table for you to come and showcase. What's that innovation? You have a solar system, maybe for water supply or harvesting. You can use this space. And it may be also for you to notice, of course, we're expecting some high-level dignitaries. Our ministers will be part of this, the permanent secretary. So this will be a very, a very good space for you to market what you have.
Your contact again?
So you can feel free to call me on 0783 000 233 to book your space, or in case you want to participate in Water and Environment Week activities.
Can you repeat it?
Guide you. 0783 000 233.
Let's do this round with Mr. Kizito also, your number, because some of us are really so much into the wetlands and all these preparations. It's good also to share yours.
Okay, my number is 0785 10 40 96. Then on the Airtel line, I also have 0750 47 1777.
Good. Before we conclude, I want to appreciate you, our viewer and our listener, for following us on this line. It's very important. I encourage you to download our app so that you always keep with us. This is I'm customizing it to a family standard media house, because once we engage together, we remain together in some sense. You cannot test Fort TV where we keep entertained and you leave us. You can't. Because then you will know all the people you want to interact with are here, coming in here. The political leaders, technical leaders, government departments, and everyone. Actually, we are planning in future, one of these days, to host His Excellency the President. But even tonight, if he's in the region, the boys will catch up with him, and that's why those who are in the studio know some of our team members have gone out. He's expected to be in the region at the MMU University, even installed the Chancellor officially, and there is heap of activities taking place in the region, and that's why this team is about to leave for further planning of this. I want to appreciate that. So we are going out to do more things, but I want to remind you, like Rita said, even on that symposium day, there are people who have been invited also to exhibit, to have to show scientific activities that they are doing, some materials, some items, something. Quite a number have been invited by the lead team to do that. Invitations have gone out. So it is always important to showcase what you're doing as a contribution towards observing our environment. I'm almost signing out. Let me give Rita a minute or so, and Kiza, because I must release them for the next meeting. The remaining 2, 3, 4 minutes on this show, up to 10, we shall be playing some relevant and subject-related music and discussions here. So we are almost sending out. Let me start. This is a well-engendered discussion, and so we start with the male this time around to say the final statement he wants to make here at 4TV.
I want first of all thank the management of 4TV for giving us this platform to talk to our listeners and our viewers. I want also to thank the partners who have been with us all this way along, and who are still with us. I'm also calling them to come for final meeting. We are soon starting to start at 10 at our Albert Water Management Zone boardroom. So as we are heading there, otherwise I wish all you well, and I remain as Kiza Kizito, as a wetland system supervisor at Mpanga Wetland System.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kiza Kizito, for those kind words to have you and our listener, and that warm invitation to be part of the planning. Only Madam here, please say what is on your heart in terms of signing out.
Yeah, well, I also, on behalf of the ministry team at the regional office in Nyabukara, we would also like to extend our sincere gratitude to 4TV for giving us this platform to create awareness on the Water and Environment Week activities that are upcoming, that is for the regional as well as the national one in March. And also to thank our moderator here, Mr. Kalyagira has been part and parcel of the planning since the start in January, and he hasn't been out, and he's still part and parcel of the rest of the planning for the activities. Yeah, we are very grateful. Thank you so much, and yeah, we hope you will still be part of our press conference that is on the 26th. Please don't miss out. And maybe to conclude by okugamba abataka at least olutoro
yes
akakurumuna tubadarisa okwija okwetaba mu mikoro egy'okulinda ebyobuhangwa n'ebyamaizi. Please come and participate in our activities starting on 25th Sunday until 4th March 2024. Thank you very much.
Obwaligaruka neja kubaza n'olusoga abaze n'Oluganda abaze endimi zonna. Nigoza kukusima iwa kutorora kandi atulirize n'okusima management ya 4TV, especially the CEO, for the warm welcome. Fortunately, we found him here and is watching closely and is interested also. This gentleman is really passionate about these activities, and that's why he asked me, Mr. Kaligel, can you have a show that really depicts this? Yes. And this show is unique in its own way. Is topical, is focused on some of the things. We have a lot of entertaining shows and so on, but this one is unique in its own way, and that's why I keep inviting people to engage with us, because then it goes beyond ordinary. So CEO, thank you so much, and I'm sure you will interact with the team after this presentation here, and the entire crew, the production and the rest, thank you for this offer. Expect us next week when we need raises from this very preparations. We host other guests as well. It's also good if you have watched me for the first time on this show and listened to me. Maybe you need my contact for doing business with that, for sharing, inquiring, and so on. I work with people on MTN also on 0772 68 37 19. 0772 68 37 19. You can WhatsApp, you can do anything sensible there, of course, I know. But also Airtel is 0752 550 221. 0752 550 221. Catch up with us at any point in time that is appropriate for us to work together. In the remaining few minutes in the production that will be playing us, we have only 5 minutes to go. That music that is relevant to our discussion. Thank you everyone for watching. Keep with us and we keep entertained. We're signing out. Bye.